Okay, the last leg of the conversation, we've been joined on the program by filmmaker, founder, Parallel Media Studios Limited, producer, creative director of Parallel Media Studios Limited. Also, the unique thing about this gentleman is that he uses smartphone to make films. Famumi Oluwaseyi joins us right here in our Lagos studio. Mr. Sheyi, thank you so much for coming on the program.
So good to meet you. Good morning.
When I saw this, I was okay. There's a direction this is going. So, before we talk about the revolution that is coming, what motivated you to start, not to carry the big cameras, just to use your smartphone and play, do some of the things you do, the creative work you put out?
So in 2020, we were all locked down, right? And movement was very restricted. So what then happened is that you didn't have the opportunity to be able to go out to do what you would normally want to do. So while in my house, in the room, basically thinking and then asking myself questions, I just remember that, there was a time back then in 2019 that I was literally, working with some of my footages, and the camera went off while we were on field. And then I had to use the phone to finish the project, right? So that's how the whole idea for smartphone photography and videography started. And then I actually built a course right there and there in 2020, and that's how the whole thing started. So basically, I found out that the entire evolution is, there's a 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G. So basically, that's the way it is also with camera. Almost every 3 months, a new camera is coming out, right? So that's the same thing it is. As your phones are coming out, they're actually coming out more with what? A new cameras. So which means that the camera are much more active than they were in those days, right? In the days of 1G, it was basically technology. You just, hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? 2G, what becomes of it was basically text and what? Voice. Then in 3G, you had text, voice, and a little of picture. The days of Sergeant, where you are struggling, and then the picture blacks out. Then 4G, what happens? That's when you all started knowing about 30 megapixel, 40 megapixel. Basically, that's what the cameras basically that they were selling. But right now, we are in the revolution, and the revolution is about video, right? So right now, the 5G is more of what? Visual. So with your phone, literally, you can do almost anything. You can literally shoot an entire film, the documentaries, anything with your phone, because the camera there is not different from the camera we are carrying to actually shoot the big projects, right? But it's just that it has been made smaller, right? Because technology now makes things tighter, little, and then less stressful.
So you said you went ahead and developed a course right there and then.
Yes.
So what are the components of this course that you use your phone to teach? It's interesting.
So I basically started as a filmmaker, right? So basically I did a lot of documentary in the past. So what then happened was that I just literally, drilled down on those things I knew already, because I attended film school, Del York Film School when I was in 2019. So what I learned over time was what I drew down to mobile filmmaking, because it's actually the same thing. Like I said, camera is camera, whether it is big or small, it's a camera. So the few things you will see in the courses are how to use light, how to operate light. Like I tell people, camera captures light. The reason why you are here now and people can see you is because you are basically lit up. What happens is, if this place you go dark, the image is going to change. But what changed the image was because the light went off. So most times in the course I say, imagine stand somewhere in the morning, take a picture with your phone, then go back at night and take a picture with your phone in the same setting, the same environment. What happened? Light change. So the light is very important. So if you understand lighting very well, then you can use anything, as long as it has a camera element in it, you can manipulate it to get what you want.
So does this mean that we need to have a basic understanding of, because you have the advantage of understanding basic cinematography?
Yes.
So walk us through. Give us a free course, FOC. It's January. There's no money to pay anybody right now.
Okay, so basically, right, the few things I basically give are, number one, like I said, know where the source of light is. So for example, you are basically outside, you want to take a picture, right? Most times, your phone is in your pocket, so it's going to come out with dirt. So the first thing is clean the phone. As simple as that.
Clean the camera.
Clean the camera. Just get a white handkerchief and just dab the camera. Just dab it in the face. Then after that, the next thing you need to do basically is you need to learn the settings of the camera, right? Like I tell people, it's easier when you've seen something that you're trying to replicate. So the reference is very important. So, oh, I've seen this. Oh, I can use that. I can use this. Very important. So you can use your phone, actually, if you have the replicas of what you're trying to achieve. The second thing is, when you are done, basically, on the phone, there are other things that you need to set, right? But if you look at it really, the parameters are basically to control light. Whether you're setting your ISO, whether you're setting a shutter speed, whether you're setting, everything is basically to control the amount of light that is coming into the camera, because the camera itself can do nothing without light.
So there's a lot of lighting knowledge that is required.
Very important.
So what are the limitations of using a smartphone to shoot a film? Because when you consider the complications that are involved in filmmaking, all of the elements that you require, all the people, last week we had series of, editions focusing on the important people that make a film. So what are the limitations of deploying just a smartphone to making a film?
So right now the limitations basically are the fact that many people have not started to exploit, and not that because it's the same thing. Like I said, the only thing you are removing from the whole process of filmmaking is just that you are removing the camera, right? You're no longer using the big cameras, you are using the smartphone. But the smartphone itself has the entire component in which you can insert every other thing that you require. So like, for example, in a big camera, you require extra lens, right? You can change your lens from either a manual focus to a fixed focus, or from a zoom lens to a prime lens. There are also that opportunity available for lenses in smartphones. So in smartphone technology now, the producers, the makers of cameras are also beginning to make lenses and stuff that can actually be used for phones. So you are seeing a small phone, but you are seeing an attached lens that is looking like as big as a normal telephoto lens that you use when you are going to go and film on a outdoor space. So everybody is already seeing that the next generation of storytellers are going to come from filmmaking, from mobile filmmaking. Really? There's nothing you are going to do about it, because what's happening right now is the content creator you are actually, all about, the influencers you are all about. 80% of them started with what? The smartphone.
So what about when you need to do many camera angles?
You just have more phones.
More.
So the trick I tell people is, if you are basically going to do like this setting, and basically for one person you need 2 cameras, then the next person comes in, that's the 3rd camera. The next person comes, that's the 4th camera. That's how you look at it. So that means you need 1.
What about aerial shots?
For aerial shot, put a phone there up.
So basically what we should be talking about now is, let me use a general term, but tripod is a common one. The holders, phone holders.
Yes.
Do we have the luxury of as many as possible?
Oh, there are so many different accessories, right, that are already into town. If you check GG, I'm sure if you check GG and check mobile phone accessories, the first one you're going to see are the different kinds of tripods that you can use for your phone. Different types, right? There's a small one you can put on your table, and that's the good thing about it, because they are not heavy. Right, they are not heavy. They are not heavy duty like you need to when you are going to. So basically, some of your stuff can actually fit into your school bag.
They call it technology miniaturization.
Exactly.
So you're saying that all those things, that those sophisticated cameras and advanced cinematography doing filmmaking,
yes,
smartphones can do them.
Beautiful.
All right.
What are the benefits? Very quickly.
The benefits are that it saves time. That's just it, and then it helps you control the number of people that you
as light as possible. This is exciting. It means that there's a future for a lot of people.
Yes.
It's also miniaturization and cost.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fabumi Oluwaseyi, filmmaker, founder, excuse me, Parallel Media Studios Limited. Thank you for coming on the program. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah.